What's up everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna continue working on the 81 Toyota pickup. So last time I put the engine together and it's almost ready to go. I was missing a couple of parts and I got those today, so I'm gonna be installing those. And I have to remove the transmission and transfer case from the truck. There's no bell housing for this transmission to go to a JC, so I'm not gonna be able to use it. Instead, I'm gonna be using these 90s R150 from a 4Runner. It's a B6. I just gotta replace the bell housing and it'll bolt right onto the engine. So I'm gonna remove the transmission transfer case. Then I wanna drop this engine in just to see if everything's gonna fit and everything's gonna clear. Then I wanna pull it out again. And I have another engine sitting on the back that I'm gonna be bolting onto this transmission. So I can start doing the motor mounts. I don't wanna be doing the motor mounts on this one because I don't wanna damage it or scratch it. So I'm gonna be using another motor. And I also wanna clean the engine bay and spray the chassis. I don't know if I'm gonna get that far, but we'll see how it goes. These are some of the parts that I got. I got my bell housing. I got my clutch fork. This one comes as a kit. I got the dust boot, the bracket, and the spring. I also got my flywheel bolts. I'm not gonna need them right now, but I will need them later on. I also got a cover for the engine to the transmission. I got my oil return flanges. So one is gonna go to the oil pan, the other one's gonna go to the turbo. This is my oil cap. I don't have an oil cap, so I got this one from Thrift Motion. I'm pretty sure it's gonna look nice on the engine. I got copper nuts for the manifold. I got copper because these ones, they don't rust, so I'm gonna go with the copper ones. I got this cover for the oil level sensor. I'm not gonna be using the oil level sensors, so I'm gonna put this cover instead. This is my drain plug. So for now on, I'm gonna be installing new drain plugs on all of the motors. I got two bearings. One is gonna be the pilot bearing for the clutch, and the other one is for my tensioner. So I'm gonna be installing a new bearing on the tensioner because sometimes they dry and they start making noise. This is like $10, so I think it's worth replacing it. And these are my spark plugs. I'm gonna go with the platinum. The double platinum and the laser last longer, but these ones, I think they're more efficient. So I'm gonna gap them to 32 thousandths and I'm gonna go ahead and install them. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the pulley so I can replace the bearing. You don't have to remove the whole tensioner, just the pulley. And all you gotta do is press it out and just press the new one in, and it's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm gonna install the new bearing and I'm gonna put the pulley back on the tensioner. Okay, so it's that simple. Now I'm just gonna put the bolt back on and that should be it. Okay, so I already installed my tensioner, my spark plugs, they're all in there. My new drain plug. So I put a new drain plug, the flanges for the oil return, and this plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the motor to the side. I already removed the hood on this one. So I'm gonna clean everything that I can. I'm gonna try to remove everything I can. And I'm gonna drop this engine in and we'll see how it fits. I got a set of mounts that I was using on a 1J for a 84 Toyota pickup. I'm gonna use those and see if they fit. If not, I'm gonna make my own. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the transmission, the transfer case, clean it up a little bit, and we'll drop this in right now. Okay, so I kind of cleaned the engine bay a little bit. I still gotta remove a lot of wires, but I wanna make sure I remove the ones I'm not gonna need, so I'm gonna check wire by wire. But I did remove the transmission, the transfer case, and a couple of other things. So here's some of the stuff that I removed. That's the old transmission and transfer case. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the engine in right now. I'm gonna drop it in and I'm gonna see how it fits. If everything's gonna clear, no problem. And then I'm gonna pull it out again. Then I'm gonna grab the other motor and drop the other motor in, bolt it onto this tranny and this transfer. And I'm gonna start doing the motor mounts and also the transmission mounts. The engine is finally in the truck, and honestly, I think it looks pretty nice. And the best part, I have enough room for the downpipe and the wastegate, so I'm gonna be able to play with those. And on this side, the only clearance issue I had was the handbrake mechanism. I'm gonna have to relocate that, but everything else, there's a lot of room. Everything else is gonna fit no problem. And for the front, I should have enough room for a radiator and fans. Honestly, I think I'm gonna run the intercooler on the bottom And the intercooler piping, I should have enough room for the intercooler piping. I'm gonna have to shave some metal on the core support because I wanna go with the Toyota radiator, and definitely it's not gonna fit in here. I wanna fit a radiator with 2 fans, so I'm gonna have to shave a little bit of metal. For the intercooler, I think I'm gonna bolt it down on the bottom. And I wanna keep the outside of the truck as original and stock as possible. So I'm gonna try not to mess with anything outside of the truck. I'm gonna go ahead and take this motor out. I have another one ready that I'm gonna use to do the motor mount brackets and the transmission bracket as well. So I'm gonna take this one out and I'm gonna drop the other one in. The motor is out. I'm gonna be dropping this one in. I put this one together specifically to work on the truck. It doesn't have any pistons or rods and the head is messed up. I'm gonna do a bunch of welding and cutting, and I don't want this one to get damaged or get any debris from all the welding and the cutting that I'm gonna do. So that's why I put this one together, because it's a bad motor. I don't care. I'm just gonna use it as a backup motor. So I need to do a couple of brackets. I'm gonna do another set of brackets for the motor mounts, and I also need to get motor mounts for it. I don't want to use the old ones that I have over there. Plus those are gonna go back in my truck at some point. So I'm gonna make another set of brackets right now, and I gotta get motor mounts. I'm gonna go to the store and buy some. Then I'm gonna be dropping the engine in, and I also gotta get the transmission ready. I just gotta replace the bell housing for now. But once I replace the bell housing, the input shaft is not gonna be long enough. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. All I wanna do is just finish my brackets, my motor mount, and my transmission mount. So I'm gonna be doing that. Once I finish, then I'm gonna take out the transmission again. I'm gonna send it to the transmission shop. They should take about a day to replace the input shaft. They're gonna put a longer one. It has to be like an inch and a quarter longer. They already got one for me. So once I finish this, I'm gonna take it to them and they should take care of it. So once I get it back, I'm gonna come back to the truck and I'm gonna continue working on it. But for now, I'm gonna do another set of brackets, and I gotta go get some motor mounts. I'm gonna be cutting a couple of pieces. This is actually 1/4 inch. I don't know what this is, but it looks like it's thinner, but I'm gonna be using 1/4 inch. So pretty much this right here, it's 1.5 inches wide. This is 1.5 inches. This is 4 inches. So this one's 4 inches and this is 4 inches. So I'm gonna cut all the pieces that I need. I'm gonna put them together, and I gotta drill a couple of holes. I'm gonna be using my mill. I'm gonna set it up and I'm gonna be drilling some holes, and then I'm just gonna weld everything together. Okay, so I just finished cutting all the pieces. I also drilled the holes on everything I need. So I'm just gonna start putting everything together. I'm gonna do 2 sets. I'm gonna use 1 set for this truck, and I'm gonna be using the other set for another truck. So I'm gonna weld it all together and we'll see how they come out. So here's my brackets all welded together. I'm not gonna paint them right now. First, I'm gonna drop the engine in. I'm gonna install them the way they are. When I'm ready to drop the other engine in, then I'll spray them black. But for now, I'm gonna leave them the way they are. Okay, so I just installed the brackets. Here's one, and here's the other one. I also got a new set of motor mounts. I'm gonna be using these motor mounts. And for the transmission, I gotta replace the bell housing. I'm gonna do that right now. And I'm gonna do a solid mount. I'm not gonna use a transmission mount. I wanna do a solid mount, so it's gonna be like a bracket pretty much. I'm gonna make it myself. I don't wanna use a transmission mount on this one because it's gonna make more power. So I need something stronger and more stiff. That's why I don't wanna use a transmission mount. So I'm gonna go ahead, drop this in, and I'll show you guys the progress right now. Okay, so the motor is in again. I got the transmission ready. All I did was replace the bell housing for now. So I'm gonna bolt it onto the motor. Then I'm gonna bolt on the transfer case. I'm gonna do my mount, and then it has to come out again. I'm gonna change that input shaft, and I gotta bolt it back on to the truck. But for now, I'm gonna work on that transmission mount. Okay, the motor is in, the transmission is in. It's bolted onto the engine. It's kind of dark, can't really see it, but it's in there. And I also bolted down the transfer case. And let me show you guys the inside of the truck. Okay, I got some light and I'm able to show you guys the shifter location. So it did move like 3 inches to the back, and you can't see the shifter for the transfer case, but it's pretty much sitting somewhere right here. So I could either, well, I'm gonna have to drill a hole. So I'm gonna cover this section right here. I'm gonna cover this section, and I'm just gonna drill a hole somewhere over here for the transfer case shifter. And I'm gonna go outside of the truck and show you guys the cross member on the transmission. On that one, I'm gonna have to modify it as well. So let me go underneath and show you guys. Okay, so underneath the truck, you're able to see the transfer case and the transmission. I'm holding it with straps because I was gonna start doing the mount, but I'm not gonna be able to do the mount anymore because, so pretty much I was gonna do a solid bracket and I was just gonna extend it to the cross member, but I have a problem. So whenever I put my drive line, this is where the flange is for the drive line, it's not gonna clear the cross member, so I'm not gonna be able to use the cross member the way it is. I'm gonna have to like cut it right here, and either bring it down, or I could bring it out this way, go underneath the transfer case, and do the same right here, cut it, and then bring it out this way, and just go underneath the transfer case. So that's what I have in mind. That's what I want to do, but I don't want to do it until I get that input shaft replaced. So I just wanted to see how everything was gonna sit and if everything was gonna work, and apparently everything's gonna work the way I thought it was. So I'm gonna bring down the transmission and the transfer case again. I'm gonna replace that input shaft. Then I think I'm gonna throw the truck on the lift, and I'm just gonna modify the cross member and do my transmission bracket. That's gonna be it for this video. For the next video, I'm gonna try to have everything ready. I'm gonna try to throw the truck on the lift because I gotta do a bunch of cutting and welding, and I have to modify a bunch of things. I also want to start doing the exhaust, but like I said before, that's gonna be it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer the best I can. Feel free to comment, and I'll see you guys next time.